called Trick Green Wealth. So in this channel is also known as like tutor platform or learning and watching and education tips online. This time we are going to discuss about mutual funds like personal finance and retirement planning, adjustment between income and expenditure, and banking products and all. So let's move on. The first step is the top 10 mutual funds to invest in 2023. We're advancing enough, so keeping our money, keeping our cash ideal is now absolutely an option for being educated. So keeping your savings, like keeping your assets like cash, fixed assets like cash and all in savings account and deposit accounts, NSC National Savings Certificate. So let me write down, then I hope that you can catch up with those ideas. Before discussing about this top 10 mutual fund, which we should and we must invest in 2023, this is banking products. Banking products, okay? On the left side, you write savings account, and the right side, deposits account. Here, deposit account, there are lots of deposit. Term deposits is there, recurring deposits is there. So please listen carefully and watch carefully. This is not just like F&E movies and entertainment movies or entertainment channel. It's not like that, okay? So while you're watching, you are studying and be ready to grasp those subjects and any difficulties, okay? In case of deposits, banking deposits, we have term deposits, recurring deposit, and multi-option deposits. Term deposits, recurring deposits, and multi-option deposits, and fixed deposits. Here, the interest rate is the interest rate ranges from 5 to 7%, which is compounded. Compounded compounded annually, quarterly, monthly and semi-annually. Here, the investor or the investors have the free right to choose whether he or she likes to be compounded annually or quarterly or monthly or semi-annually. It's up to the investors. So here, in case of savings account, the interest rate is the interest rate vary from 2.7 to 5%. So right now we have Jana Small Finance Bank. Jana Small Finance Bank offers the highest rate of interest in savings account, which allowed the interest rate is range from 7 to 8.25% per annum. So in case of savings accounts, you can have many opportunities, like you can open digital funds. You can open online, which is called digital savings account. Digital savings account and post office savings account. Okay, and the post office also offers that NSC, which is called National Saving Certificate. NSC VIIIth Issue. Here you can buy the certificate. You can buy, and the duration is 5 years, and maximum installment in a financial year is 12. So in post office, you can also open PPF account, public provident fund, and this is long-term investment. Duration is 15 years. Okay. Interest rate ranges from 6 to 7. So in case of banking products, you can open NSC, same with that post office, and PPF and National Pension System, Atal Yojana Pension System, and Sovereign Gold Bond Scheme. So there are lots of opportunities and facilities provided to the citizens by the government of India. especially for those rural people and those who are uneducated and those who work in the private sectors and those who do not have a regular job like that. Okay, I hope that everything is clear with that. Here, banking products, we have lots of banking products like current account, and there are lots of things. But to let you understand that I just take out only savings accounts and deposit accounts. In case of deposit account, we have term deposit account and recurring deposit account and multi-option deposit account and fixed deposit account. And the interest rate ranges from 5 to 7 years, and which is compounded annually, semi-annually, and quarterly and monthly, and which is a free will and free option by the investor. And we have the NSC National Savings Certificate and COD Certificate of Deposit and PPF Public Provident Fund. Duration is 15 years and NSC is 5 years and NPS National Pension System till the 65 years retirement years and sovereign gold bond scheme. You can buy that. So in case of savings accounts, the interest rate ranges from 2.7 to 3.5 to 5%, and SBI offers 3.5 and sometimes 2.7. So it's not stable, it's volatile. So right now we have that Jana Small Finance Bank offers the highest rate of interest in case of savings accounts. They offer 7 to 8.25% per annum. And you can offer these savings accounts online by online, which is called digital savings account. Okay, through that IPP Indian Post Payment Bank, which is closely linked with the Department of Post Office. And in Post Office also they offer this NSC National Savings Certificate 8th issue, and duration is 5 years, and maximum installment which you can made up within 5 financial year is 12, and PPF you can open with 500 in a year. Public Provident Fund and duration is 15 years, and the interest, as I already mentioned and stated, that 6 to 7 years. Okay, I hope that everything is clear. If it's not clear and if there's any doubt, so you can give me a hint or feedback at the comment section. As I already mentioned that it's not like an entertainment channel, it's not like an funny and laughing stock channel. It's a tutorial channel, learning, educational channel. So while watching, you have to be carefully watch while you learn. Okay. So let's move to our headings: the top 10 mutual funds to invest in 2023. The first one we have is that Axis Blue Chip Fund. Axis Blue Chip Fund is a large cap investment, and Their asset size is very large. It's five figures. We have the parameters to calculate that ROI, return on investment, and compounded annual growth rate. So based on this mean rolling returns, which we can discuss later on. So mean rolling returns and the return period is estimated at the base point is 3 years, and consistency level and debt ratio, equity ratio. We have debt ratio, equity ratio, yield, asset size, and AUM is asset under management. Asset under management. And expense ratio. Expense ratio is the fees which you pay to the fund manager in return for managing your fund, like diversifying and portfolio management, portfolio classification, and like moving and transferring funds. It is the task of the fund manager. So the fund manager manage your funds, transfer when it is needed, and do all the tasks. So in return of that, you pay to him a cash. You pay to him as a sum of money. So that is called an expense ratio. An expense ratio is must be lesser than not mean lesser than lower than 1. It should be lower than 1. If it is above 1, then your expense ratio is very large, so it is an useless expenditure in that case. So this is all these things is all these are the parameters or an items to evaluate or to calculate or to estimate that which fund bears the returns great. If you invest in equity, it involves a higher risks. At the same time, the returns is large. So higher risks means higher returns. And if you invest in money market mutual funds, If you invest in money market mutual funds or debt mutual funds or things we've already discussed, that fixed instruments like deposits or corporate bond or COD, certificate of deposit, or NSC, National Savings Certificate. These all are fixed instrument, and savings account, deposit account. These all are fixed instrument. So if you invest in these debt mutual funds and money market mutual funds, debt mutual funds, and fixed instruments, so the returns are fixed. So there is no risk in losing of the principal and interest. Okay, so if you invest in equity like that, it is really risky, higher risk. You might have a chance to lose your principal too. Needless to say that your interest. So you should be careful before investing in mutual funds. So if you are not expert financial manager, or if you are from a non-commerce background, and if you are very weak in this financial management, also you have to search and you have to consult financial expert, financial management expert, or financial consultant, or financial mentor and wealth manager and all. So the top 10 is that the first one is Exist Blue Chip Fund. This is large cap fund, and gray shade. This one is also called large cap fund. Parik long term equity fund. This is equity fund, equity long term fund, and UTI flexi cap fund. Okay, Exist mid cap fund, medium capital fund, and Kotak emerging equity fund, and Exist small cap funds. So you have to remember that in case of small cap fund, it involves lots of risks, okay? But the returns is awesome. The returns is awesome. This small cap fund is for aggressive investors. Aggressive investors means those who are willing to take high risks, those who want to take high risks, and those who are in a position to take high risks. Not for conservative. It is not for conservative investors. Conservative investors are not willing to take risks, and maybe they are not in a position to take risks because of tight funds, because of inadequate savings, or because of inadequate incomes. We don't know that what they've gone through that. Okay, so just for a knowledge, bank is very important for investment. For stock market also, to open a trading account, demat account, we need to have a primary bank. Why need bank? We need bank for funds, paying, and for funds, paying, and payout. Okay. I hope that till now everything is clear and fair. So as I already stated, if any unclear, any doubt is there, so you can have slide back on my comment section. So you can move on, I think so. Like I said before that this is called parameters, which we oftenly use for calculating this return on your investment. Return on your investment. Okay, we need those things. This is Those are commonly or popularly used by economic times, financial times, and financial consultant, financial expert, and financial mentor, and wealth manager, and financial planner. So the first one is MRR. MRR simply means that mean rolling returns. Okay, mean rolling rolling returns. So to calculate and to estimate those things, so we've taken or assume as a base 3 years. 3 years is a base point for calculating and estimating the return on investment. Maybe in case of that CAGR, compound that annual growth rate, and which is rolled daily, daily inflows, daily flows of funds, and T is just the base point. Okay, and the second one is C. The full form is consistency. Consistency. From the very meaning or from the word itself, it denotes that the fund or the cash we put on investment, or which funds we invest, like large cap, mid cap, small cap, or equity, debt, hybrid, or sunsets, anything should be consistent for the last years. So in case of age consistency, we use this age exponent as for computing the consistency of fund. For computing consistency of fund, consistency of a fund, whether it is a volatile or not, due to some emergencies like inflation, deflation, or national or international emergencies, like we have heard that COVID virus or war, maybe. So the funds with high the funds with high exponential has volatility, low volatility. That means it is stable, does not it does not change a lot, so it is stable. Comparing with the funds with low exponential. Okay, so let's move to the next one. This is called downside risks. Downside risks. It's all about the negative returns given by the mutual fund scheme, the scheme wherein you put your cash, the scheme where you invested in your hard-earned money. So it's all about the downside risk. Downside risk simply implies that it's all about the negative returns given by the scheme where you put your money. Okay. Based on this, we have that X simply tells us returns below zero, returns below zero, and Y is that some squares of this X and the downside risk is finally the square root of Z, which needs more clarification in compatibility with that classical statement, which later on we can discuss, not at this time. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Equity portion. Equity portion. Equity portion. Equity portion measure the funds we invested for the last 2 years. For the last 3 years. It is very useful for calculating or estimating that risks adjusted returns. Okay, you must remember that it is very useful for risk adjusted returns. So the next one is DP. DP implies debt portion. Debt portion. Debt portion is essential for calculating the benchmark fund or the fund's return. So, and do I need to write? It is really very useful and essential for the benchmark fund or the fund's return, the fund's return, or you may call that active return of the fund. Active return of the fund. Okay. In the previous chapter that we have already discussed about this asset size is really important, and asset size tells a lot about whether the scheme we're gonna invest it, we're gonna put our cash, our hard-earned cash is already enough to put on the scheme or to put on investment. Suppose there are lots of investment companies like Aditya Birla, Axis Mutual Funds, SBI, and Edelweiss, and index funds, Sensex funds, and money market mutual funds, debt mutual funds, and large cap mutual funds. In case of the asset size, the larger the size, the larger the size, it is the best way to approach. Okay, if the asset size is large, then we can say, or we may say that it is reliable. We can put our cash without worrying much, without risk much. Okay. Lastly, we have expense ratio. Expense ratio. In the case of direct growth investment, the investors have nothing to do with their funds, so they just choose which one to invest and in which scheme, maybe equity scheme or debt scheme or hybrid scheme, or maybe a large cap, small cap, and mid cap and flexi cap, any scheme. So they invest, they put their money in the scheme they choose. So they are fund manager, they are fund manager, fund manager in a mutual fund. So the fund manager manage the funds, transferring and letting out and letting in, and portfolio classification or diversification of funds, etc. So the fund manager did all these tasks. So in return of this managing, the investors pays some money to the fund manager, So that is called expense ratio. Expense ratio must be less than 1, lower than 1. Okay. If it is larger than 1, then the investors have to pay a lot of money for managing his funds unnecessary. So till now everything is clear about this. This is the parameters we use popularly and for so they are consistency and they are really reliable. Are financial times and financial consultant, financial mentor, and financial expert, and wealth manager, and all they use those parameters which we've already discussed about this. Okay, so we finish for these times. I'm really thank you to you all, the users and subscribers, and those who regularly support my channel and used to watch my channel. So please do comment at the comment section, if you have any doubts or unclear. Thank you so much for this time. So hope that we have nice time next time with new topic. Okay. Thank you so much.